For years at Exchange, we thought the key to building thriving communities was this simple 3-step framework: learn, connect, then belong. We were completely wrong. Let me explain why. Most people think that people come to community to learn something. And maybe that's true. Maybe that's the reason they raise their hand to show up in the first place. But the reason they stay in community was for the sense of belonging. So why are we designing communities with learning at the forefront instead of belonging? And that was the really powerful shift. Was we went from learn, connect, belong to designing communities for connection first, creating a sense of belonging so that then they can learn. And this isn't just a theory. This is actually scientifically proven. I worked for about 4 years in a mental health agency, and I learned a lot about how our brains work. There's a lot of neuroscience behind this. Have you ever heard the term, accept the person as they are when they walk through the door? Well, people have a lot going on in their lives. So when they show up into a space to learn, we have to realize we actually have to get them to get safe in their bodies before they can learn. When you think of your brain, there's the fight or flight. That's your reptilian brain. So a lot of times people are stepping into spaces with so much going on, and they never actually learn to regulate themselves enough to even get to the executive functioning to be able to even understand what's happening in a room. So it's really critical that us as facilitators or community stewards or community leaders understand this concept that when I'm bringing a group together, I have to start with, again, designing a place to connect first. Because when you create connection, and I'll show you simple ways to do that in this video, when you start by creating opportunities for people to connect, that actually helps them to regulate. It helps them move from that fight or flight or freeze. That could be anxiety, that could be stress, that could be the uncertainty, the doubt, the fear. People are walking into spaces holding a lot, especially today, in today's times. So when we start with connection, designing for connection and helping them to regulate in their bodies, they naturally start to feel safe. And when they feel safe, that allows them to open up. That creates that sense of emotional connection. If you think even of Maslow's hierarchy, we go from safety to emotional needs to then fulfillment, right? So that's really the journey we're helping to maximize, to create these flourishing, healed communities. We have to start with connection. So what's a simple way that you can do this if you're gathering your group? So if you're like a lot of the clients that we coach inside of Exchange, they come to Exchange because they have this incredible content that they teach, right? And that's what they know, and that's what they do well, and they're probably really successful already doing it. Maybe that's you too. But the small, subtle shift that we're going to invite you to do is to layer on the Exchange approach as an operating system into your existing agenda. Again, with that heart of how do I build community? How do I create connection? Because at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. We want to create impact. We want to create something fulfilling. We want to make transformative change in this world. But to do that, we have to, again, go back to connection and belonging. So one simple way, the simple question that I love to open up spaces, and we teach this again inside of Exchange, is all about starting with this beautiful word, purpose. So opening your next session, I invite you to try this question on. Why is it important that you are here today? So from purpose, we always start with why. Why is it important that you are here today? If you want what we call thought joggers, you can go 3 layers deeper. Why is it important for yourself? That's layer 1. Why is it important that you're here today for yourself? Why is it important for others? Now you can customize this for yourself. This could be clients. This could be why is it important for your family? This could be why is it important for your son or daughter if you're coaching parents. Now the meta level, why is it important for the world? Now again, opening up with this space, this one question, why is it important that you're here today? This is allowing them to connect to their own why, to their own sense of purpose, to get safe in their bodies, to take a moment to reflect, because learning doesn't happen when you're talking. Learning happens when we stop to allow the audience to integrate what's happening, right? So opening with a question is so powerful for so many reasons, but mainly right here, we're creating a sense of connection. Now, the key here is not just let them reflect and then you move on. You actually want to create a sense of belonging by strategizing intentional connection patterns. You do this with what we call at Exchange a choreography called the Connect choreography, literally built for this, where when they're done reflecting, you actually invite them. And if you're in a large group, if you're in person, you can invite them to turn the person next to them. Or what we love to do online virtually is in small groups of 3. So actually put them in a breakout. So before I've even gone into my content, I have made it about them. How powerful is that? I've given them voice before I've taken the mic to go into my lovely rant around whatever topic I'm really passionate about, right? Like this really grounds the space and grounds the room for them to build connection. So now they're open enough to receive what you now have to say, because now they're bought into their own why for being there in the first place. Do you see how powerful this is? So when we get from that space of reflection, then you step into, again, how do we create the sense of belonging? You create connection by, again, if you're in a virtual setup, maybe it's a breakout room where you invite them to share their answer to this why question in that small group. Hey, what was one of those reasons of why you're here today? Go ahead, each of you take about a minute to share with each other. So now they're hearing from each other. Now here's the secret key to create a sense of belonging. You guys ready for this? It's my favorite word. I'll bring this over here so I can be close with you guys. Appreciation. There's so much magic when you create an opportunity, not only for people to connect. So if you want to visualize it with me, you've got 3 people in a breakout room, or again, maybe they're in person. Turn to a partner next to you, turn to a small group. Person number 1, go ahead and share your why. Why, right? So person 1 shares their why. After person 1 has shared, person 2 and 3, you're going to take a moment to reflect back to that person what you appreciate. Keep it simple. What you appreciate about them. What is the one thing that you noticed in what they said that really stood out to you? Hey, John, I really appreciated the big smile that you had on your face when you said why you were here. Hey, Gloria, I don't know why these names are coming to me. Hey, Gloria, I really want to appreciate that insight. It really meant a lot to me to hear your why. Right? Keep it simple. But in the act of creating a space to appreciate, there's so much happening here, you guys, to build this psychological safety in a room, because it allows this person something, it gives them a gift that we don't give often enough today, a space to feel heard, seen, and valued. And all this takes is about 30 seconds. And after the person 1 is done sharing, you move on to person 2. Person 2, same thing, shares their why. Person 1 and 3 are now sharing back their appreciation. Then you switch until everyone has a chance to be heard. Can you see, again, in the simplicity of this design, how powerful that opening activity has now become for your audience, where they, 1, got to reflect on their own why for being there, 2, got to connect with 2 other people they may not have known beforehand. Now they build that sense of belonging because now there's a shared identity, because they're naturally finding what are the similarities between why I'm here and why John and Gloria are here. And then when you bring them back into the main room, you invite 1 or 2 voices to share back what is something they appreciated about that exercise, or even what was your why for being here? Do you want to be bold and courageous and share with the room? Now they feel more engaged, but also safe to share as a whole group. This is powerful. So if you are interested in creating transformative learning experiences, again, don't do what everyone does. Don't start with the learning to a passive audience, but instead engage your audience to be co-creators with you by, again, starting with connection, building that sense of belonging, because now your audience is bought in to actually do the learning with you. So hopefully this was insightful for you. I've got many more videos coming on why and how this exchange approach is really powerful for creating not only psychological safety, but highly flourishing, healed organizations and mainly communities, because that's my passion, is to help you build your thriving community. And especially as a facilitator, as a group leader, as a change maker in this world, we have to learn this skill set so that we can really create the ripples and the impact we're seeking. So let me know your comments below. I'm curious, what's the one, I'll close actually with an active learning cycle with you. What's been your one greatest takeaway from this video thus far? Any insight, any aha you have? Let's collectively crowdsource some ideas in the comments below so that we can build our own insightful community building here, and also share greatest takeaways and little nuggets of gold. So I look forward to hearing your comments and being inside of this journey with you. Be well, my friends.